Hi there, Pisces. Welcome to your September 2023 General Tarot reading. It's Rena here. Okay. Wow, that's the first time I got the Hangman, and that card is connected to your ruler Neptune, as I recall. So interesting. This is a new deck. I don't know if you've seen this before. The Crystal Magic Tarot deck. I still have to look at the name of it. Oh, this card is associated, the Nine of Cups. I never got that one either, and that one is associated with Jupiter and Pisces. So it has a Pisces connection. Wow, wonderful. Okay. Very interesting, this, assortment of cards that I picked for you, Pisces. Let's see what's going on here. So we have the Judgment card as the heart of the matter. And by the way, in case you haven't seen a reading with me where I use these cards before, there are crystal correspondences with each card that are meant to talk about what is going on, the energy with the card itself. Okay, so the Judgment card is the second to last major arcana card. It's connected to Pluto, so it has that aspect of cause and effect, of like, okay, you did this and now you're experiencing that. And of course, people tend to think, oh, you mean karma, right? And yeah, I mean, karma means action. So things happen based on what we do. We do experience results from those actions. So you could say that, but it should not be meant as punishment. And even if you think about judgment, like with legal matters and our legal system, is the judgment leading to something that creates enlightenment so that people have better judgment? Because sometimes it can be, I think especially with Pisces, an issue of maybe not having the best judgment. Why? Not out of stupidity, but out of compassion, out of wanting to help someone who may have, totally had no intention of changing. And or if you were in a workplace situation and you kind of emerged from it feeling exploited, feeling like they used you, knowing that you were a soft touch, that you were someone who was very, caring, they used that as a way to get what they wanted. In the past position, we have the Page of Wands. This is actually a card of receiving good news about something. So, now that I have this card to add upon, maybe you heard about your legal, that your divorce is finalized and you're happy. But I think that the Page of Wands in certain cases can be like some kind of a hot and heavy love situation going on where there's a lot of lust, a lot of hormones flying around. And the issue of judgment could be very important. Like, for instance, what if you find out that this person is actually married? And then they say, well, I'm in the process of getting divorced. Well, that's the oldest one in the book, isn't it? Yeah, we just haven't. Or we have to wait until our children graduate high school. And it's coming up, it's just around the corner. But of course, this is where the Hangman comes in, because the Hangman can be about, let me take a look at this card. I'll show it upright so you can see it better. But you can see somebody holding on to her with a thin thread, okay? And I like that. I like that they have someone almost like the marionette pulling the strings. And almost like that person is a puppet, because in some cases that's exactly what's happening. It could be somebody being jerked around. You know, yeah, that's the ticket. I'm getting divorced and all of this. But really, they just want their cake and eat it and want to eat it too. You know what I mean? And for the Pisces, it's easier to live in that fantasy of the promises than the reality of the being jerked around. With the Page of Wands, something can come out very, I don't know, like suddenly, just there, and it's a very good feeling. And like for instance, even like let's say you got some kind of job offer, and you were just like, oh man, and you just quit your job before you actually were working at this other place, and now it's like, oh, we're not ready for you because they're probably lying, or they, you know what I mean, they found somebody else or they did something else. These kinds of things, it's tempting to blame other people, that they were being deceptive, but it doesn't really, change the situation as it is. And when we bring it back to ourselves, we say, what could I have done differently in this situation to protect myself from this end result, or what you perceive is going to be the end result? So that to me is much more proactive and, like a positive type of thing to do. And the truth is, like, let's say it was somebody who committed the sin of omission, didn't tell you that they are with somebody else, and you got involved with them. Maybe you got physically involved with them very shortly after meeting them, and it's almost like you feel like, okay, well, now I'm in too deep because now you have feelings for them. Well, that's why you could always, be old-fashioned and just say, okay, well, you're attracted to me. Okay, well, let's go out for lunch for the next 6 months. That's it. And see if they stick around. Okay, what crosses you is the Page of Swords. So, these cards aren't, when I get these crossing cards, they're not necessarily that I'm picking them reversed, but I'm reading them whatever is the most challenging interpretation. So in this case, the Page of Swords in the upright position can be somebody who's really like, it's a spy card. So it could be somebody who is really like aware of what is going on, maybe what somebody's saying versus what they're doing. They're just like on top of all of that. They might be documenting something. They might be hiring a private detective if they suspect that their partner is cheating, whatever, or something at work that is not what it was supposed to be. But you aren't doing that. And that could be leading to, it's like sticking your head in the sand. Seeing somebody, you're dating someone and something doesn't match up. They're saying one thing and they said something else before, and you don't go, I thought that you said this. I thought you said you didn't have children. You start to kind of like uncover their lies, but then you sit on that and you don't say anything, and you kind of like, pretend it didn't happen, pretend you didn't hear it. So those kinds of things can shut you off from the truth of the situation, and then it becomes harder to, have what you want, because that's what we're here to do. Is we're here to be happy, and anything that keeps you from that keeps you trapped in a place that you don't want to be. What is the point. What's coming in, the King of Wands, this is about stepping into your power. And you see that it's funny that they have the bull. I think that kings might be connected to the earth. Maybe this is connected to like Taurus and Leo energy or something. But definitely with that, when you see the crown, when you value yourself to the point where you believe that you are deserving of all good things, you're not going to settle for less. You're not going to settle for empty promises. And what you'll say to yourself is, if this person is being sincere, I'm going, or you can even, you might even say to the person, like, I know that you're embroiled in this marriage and that you're trying to get out. I believe that you're trying to get out, but I think that I'm distracting you from that. So I'm going to kind of remove myself from your life for the next 90 days to give you that space that you need. And the reason that you do something like that is that you don't give them their cake and eat it too. So they have to deal with the fact that you're not in their life and they don't get to be with you. And yes, I mean, if somebody is a sex addict or otherwise some kind of like Lothario, a player who needs that kind of ego strokes, maybe they'll move on to the next target. That's how I see it, as a target. But they won't have you there to kick around, because that's really what it is. If that's what their game is that they're just trying to make themselves feel better, then let them do that on their own time. And then you can, it's almost like forcing an ultimatum in a sense. But by the same token, it's getting on with your life. You know what I mean? So then the outcome card is the Nine of Cups. This is wish fulfillment. This is getting what you want. Now, I want to say too that the King of Wands can be like a mature fire sign, if not older than you chronologically, or an old, a mature adult, then somebody who has embodied that characteristic. The fire element is very childlike. It's very playful energy. But sometimes there can be this, fire signs can be seen as immature because they are like that, and other signs are totally in their parent, which is kind of that authoritarian mode. It's not, but it can be joyless. It can be very like overly serious. So this can be something where you feel like, hey, I have this thing that is absolutely beautiful within myself to give to others, to give to the world. And this other person is like that as well, but they're not immature. They have this, maybe this is an area where, because fire and water are both creative, so this may be something you have in common with this person. And if this is a job, same thing, that this could be like stepping in your power to be able to have the kind of work that feels fulfilling. Because all of these things that people are sacrificing so much for are temporary. It's like really an illusion that they can ultimately make you happy. A big house, can't make you happy if every day you dread going to work. It just, how can that substitute for that? So yeah, all's well that ends well. But it starts with stepping into your power, or being with someone who knows themselves. That's what the King of Wands, it's the divine masculine. It's the person who has that strength. And that includes, this doesn't have to be physical strength of character, to be honest, straightforward. They're not evasive. They're not lying all the time and trying to manipulate people. All right, that's what I have for you, Pisces. I hope that that resonated. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.